Hello guys, I'm Dr. Rajaratna here with this new series called as OTAD, hashtag OTAD, that is one topic a day. I know you are familiar with outfit of the day, OOTD, so this is OTAD. And today we've chosen to do retina, and under retina we'll be doing retinal vascular occlusions. So I've already posted questions. So this video is discussing the concepts behind the questions and the explanations. So we'll start with question number 1. So the question number 1 is about Carbogen. So Carbogen is used in the management of CRAO, as you all know. So that itself could be an MCQ. A question. It consists of, so you have a mind-boggling variation of options with different permutations and combinations. So if you know a basic idea that Carbogen is 5% carbon dioxide, it's going to make life a little easier. For instance, the moment you look at the second portion and you realize there is 2% which is not fitting in, so automatically you can rule out. And even if you didn't know about this 5% carbon dioxide, there's a very simple thing that you can use to rule out an option, which is, if you see here 98% plus 5%, which gives you 103%, which can never be possible. So if you just use your 4th grade knowledge, what you've learned in school, okay, what we all learned in 4th class, if you use that, you can automatically rule out option A. Now we are just left with B and C. Now if you see very carefully, okay, you can see that this is CO and this is CO2. So we all know that it is carbon dioxide and not carbon monoxide. So again, this is ruled out. So what is our correct option? Our correct option is option C. All right. So this particular question is not testing your genius. It is not at all testing your genius. It is not testing your intellect, your intelligence, your smartness, nothing. It only tests if you have presence of mind, because at the end of the day, we want doctors, we want clinicians who can make quick decisions in circumstances of triage, faced with difficult situations. We need presence of mind. Okay, so this question is all about testing your presence of mind. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. The next question is about Carbogen again. So Carbogen used in the management of CRAO acts by causing. So essentially they are asking you about the mechanism of action of Carbogen. So if you know a little bit about Carbogen, you would be knowing that it acts by causing dilatation of vessels, vasodilatation. Now if you know this, then probably you would be entertaining option A, B, C, and ruling out option D, increasing oxygen capacity of blood. Whereas if you have no clue about this vasodilatation, you would probably end up marking increasing oxygen capacity of blood because that catches your fancy and it's a longer option. So you might be thinking, okay, so this looks kind of, fancy and longer. So this probably is the answer, which of course is not. So let's choose between A, B and C. Now, how do we choose between that? So for that, if we know a little bit about the pathophysiology of, or the pathogenesis of CRAO, then it helps our cause. So what is the pathophysiology of CRAO? You all know that there is an atherosclerotic plaque involving which vessel? Yes, at the common carotid artery. So it breaks off and enters into the internal carotid artery, and from the internal carotid artery it goes into the ophthalmic artery, and then the branch of ophthalmic artery, central retinal artery, it goes and blocks. Okay, now where does it go and block? See, all of you know that behind the eyeball you have the optic nerve. Okay, so you have the lamina cribrosa here. So this is the eyeball, this is the optic nerve. And you know that the optic nerve is surrounded by meninges. Okay, it is surrounded by meninges. So this ophthalmic artery, okay, so this is ophthalmic artery, it gives rise to the central retinal artery, which enters the substance of the optic nerve. All right. So where it enters the meninges, so this is the meninges, meningeal sheath. So at this area, the central retinal artery is quite narrow. So when you have a broken thrombus forming an embolus and coming straight up, it gets caught at this narrow point, at this bottleneck, and causes CRAO. So that's an artery or an arteriole that gets blocked. So we would want to dilate that artery or arteriole. Okay, so that what happens, this block gets bypassed and the retinal blood flow is resumed. Does that make sense to all of you? Yes. So that is the premise behind using Carbogen, okay, making the patient inhale Carbogen in the emergency management of CRAO. Okay, now that done, let's move to question number 3. Now question number 3, all of the following may cause sudden painless decrease in vision except. So we've got to find out the causes of sudden painless decrease in vision here except. So we're going to look for the false statement. Now option A, central retinal artery occlusion, CRAO. As you all know, this is the classical presentation, sudden painless decrease in vision. So it's true. Central serous choroidopathy, or what was previously called as central serous retinopathy, again presents with a sudden painless decrease in vision. So yes, it's a true option. Now coming to AION, anterior ischemic optic neuropathy, you got 2 presentations depending upon the type. So when we have this arteritic AION, it's a sudden but painful decrease in vision. Now in case of the non-arteritic version, non-arteritic AION, it's a sudden painless decrease in vision. Now ma'am, then is this a true or false? Okay, now non-arteritic is the most common type. So overall, it's going to be a sudden painless decrease in vision in AION. So again, it's a true statement. So automatically we landed up at our answer, which is NPDR. Now, does NPDR cause decrease in vision? And if at all it does, how does it? Now, NPDR causes decrease in vision by the presence of, small dot blot hemorrhages right at the macula, at the foveolar region. If you've got hemorrhages or hard exudates right there, probably yes, we'll have decrease in vision. But in that case, it will be a very subacute, or it'll be a chronic painless, of course, painless decrease in vision. So will we have a sudden painless decrease in vision in diabetic retinopathy? Yes, if it were a case of PDR. So PDR, by causing retinal detachment or by causing a vitreous hemorrhage, it can present as a sudden painless decrease in vision. Is that clear to all of you? All right. So now that we know the concepts behind all of them, and now we also know 4 causes of sudden painless decrease in vision. Let's move on to question number 4. So question number 4 is asking us about where is the location of thrombus in CRVO. Okay, CRVO is due to thrombus at. So let's look at the options. Option A, AV junction. Now, arteriovenous junction, if I have a thrombus, it will lead to BRVO, that is branch retinal vein occlusion. But that is not our question. Our question asks about central retinal vein occlusion. Now, cavernous sinus. Now, if ever I have cavernous sinus thrombosis, it can indirectly result in CRVO by increasing the orbital pressure. Okay, by increasing the intraorbital pressure and compression of the veins, the venous outflow is impeded and can result in CRVO. But this scenario is, stretching it a bit too far. Let's see if there's a direct option, a very specific option. Option C, lamina cribrosa. Of course, yes. Now, CRVO in elderly, or in fact most commonly, is caused by atherosclerosis, wherein the atherosclerotic artery compresses the vein at the lamina cribrosa. Okay, whereas in young patients you can actually have thrombi, because in young patients we always have to rule out hypercoagulable states and collagen vascular disorders, wherein you can have thrombus which is obstructing the vein at the lamina cribrosa. So we've got our answer, but anyway, let's look at option D, retinal capillaries. No. So our answer is lamina cribrosa. Do you understand? So in elderly, a workup for atherosclerosis. In young, you also, or primarily you work up for hypercoagulable states and suspect collagen vascular disorders. Okay, so moving on to question number 5, the last question of this video. You are given a picture. Now the moment you look at this fundus picture, don't get flummoxed. It's very simple. It's the right fundus picture. How do we know that this is the right fundus? Because I can see the optic disc here, which is nasal in location. Okay, and what else can I see in this picture? All that I see are retinal hemorrhages strewn all over the place, giving rise to something like what we call as splashed tomato appearance. Doesn't it look like a lot of tomatoes have been just thrown upon the fundus? So splash tomato appearance. So the moment you hear the word splash tomato appearance, you know the answer is central retinal vein occlusion. So we've got an answer. So all that you have to remember is just remember the song from the movie Zindagi Na Milega Dobara. You remember the Tamatina festival where they are throwing tomatoes at each other and the entire gully is full of, you know, the red splash tomatoes. The picture looks exactly like this. Don't you see that? So you can't forget this picture. All right, so your answer is CRVO. So we've also covered my famous series One Pick a Day. Now you remember one pick a day keeps fear of ophthal away. So it should keep the fear of ophthal away. Ophthal is a beauty, so you should be able to love ophthal. All right, so now let's look at the other options. Ma'am, what if it is CRAO or retinitis pigmentosa? Array, let's see what it is. Now central retinal artery occlusion, all of you know that we have a cherry red spot. So we have a cherry red spot in the midst of a whitish area of the retina, which is clearly not the case as you see in this picture. Okay, so it's not CRAO. Now retinitis pigmentosa, as I've already told you, you know, retinitis pigmentosa is full of calapuchis, which are creeping it from the periphery of the retina. The black insects that are crawling in, calapuchis, karpapuchis from outside. I don't see anything of that sort here. So this is not retinitis pigmentosa either. Now coming to CSC, in central serous choroidopathy or retinopathy, you get what is called as the ring reflex. Okay, so there is a ring reflex at the macula, which I will show you in another video. So, which is of course not seen in this picture as well. So you know for sure that it is none of the other 3 options and it is on and only CRVO, the splash tomato appearance. All right. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this short program of OTAD, that is one topic a day, which also includes one picture a day, one pick a day. Okay, guys, if you have any queries regarding what I've taught you now, you are always welcome to ping me through my FB page. We have a messenger option there, Dr. Rajaratna Ophthalmology. You can follow me there, or you can be part of my FB group. It's a purely academic content, Dr. Rajaratna's Ophthal PG Prep Forum. And I'm also there on Instagram where you can directly DM me here. I am there as dr.imentor. All right. Now, what I want you to do at the end of this video is go back and read up CRAO and CRVO thoroughly. And the next video would be on diabetic retinopathy. So the next OTAD would be on diabetic retinopathy. I would be putting up the questions tonight at around 10 p.m. and then we will follow it up with a video discussion on my YouTube channel. Okay, thank you all for listening. God bless you, bache.